Debbie Nicholson here again, and just to go on with that little part of the story from my previous video of the diagnosis of the bowel cancer. After several days of the hospital still telling him that he had piles, an opportunity came up that Keith could go and spend a week in Picton, which is in the other island, the South Island of New Zealand. Someone had broken their legs and so was unable to work for at least 6 months, and so they wanted somebody down there in Picton to replace him, and there was no one for this particular week, and so this opportunity came up for us to come down to Picton. So anyway, I had by then been 4 years at Paikakariki in the camp. I'd been through 2 years of depression while Keith was working full-time, actually supposed to be temporary but part-time, but he was full-time doing that over those last 4 years. And so I had been on my own a lot in Paikakariki and just seeing birds and trees and being surrounded by lovely native birds and trees and fauna, and I wasn't getting on too well with the camp manager, and so I thought, well, I think it's time to go. I just had that feeling it was time to change ourselves. And so when he came home and said, well, I've got to go down to Picton for a week, let's go down, they'll put us up in a hotel and we'll be fine, I said, why don't we take the bus? Why don't we take ourselves down there so we've got our own place to stay, and then maybe when you finish the week, maybe we can start going around the South Island. And anyway, he said, oh, that's a good idea, all right, well, we'll do that. And so within 24 hours we were packed up, ready to leave, and we said goodbye to Paikakariki motor camp. We caught the ferry down overnight. We got in at around about 6 in the morning, I think, and we had our own home. We just drove off, found a park, and got back into bed and slept a couple of hours, and then decided, oh well, we'll go and look around this place of Picton and see what we have to do, because he wasn't scheduled to start work until the next day. So anyway, we jumped in the car and started driving around, having a look to see where we could perhaps spend this week if we weren't allowed to stay at the wharf. So we visited a couple of motor camps, and while we were at one, which is where we are now, he got a phone call, and it was the hospital saying, we think you should come in and see us again, because we're not quite sure whether it's piles or not. Now this was Wellington Hospital ringing us. We had only left the North Island the night before. And of course, naturally, he said, yes, I'll be there. When shall I be there? And they said Friday. All right, and this was Tuesday. Yes, we left Paikakariki on the Monday night, so this was Tuesday. So anyway, he talked to the boss down here in Picton, and they said, oh, just go and park over there, you'll be all right, So we were able to stay on the wharf, and he could just walk out to work and walk back. It was quite wonderful, actually, and I could see all this action. It was wonderful, because I suddenly saw that there was a life out there. Up until now, I'd had 4 years of just looking out on grass, trees, and birds and animals and horses and things. So I was feeling great about this. I was thinking, I knew there was a reason he had to come here, because now I'm part of what he does. I can see what he's doing. I can see where he's going. I know where he's going. I can see who he's talking to. I can see that he's enjoying himself. He can come home for lunch. He can, it was great. I was seeing much more of him, because before he had a 40-minute drive there and back to Wellington from Paikakariki every single day. And often he wouldn't come home for a long time after work, because he'd use the time and go and visit all his friends who live in Ruhua, which is 20 minutes drive away from where we lived. So, I missed out on a lot of his company, especially when I badly needed it, when I was going through all that depression. But of course, he doesn't understand sick. He has never been sick in his life. I mean, his file at the doctor's would consist of 2 pages, if even that, just for his yearly checkup or something. And so here I am with this man who gets this ring from the hospital to say, well, maybe it's not piles, we're not sure, but can you be here by Friday? So suddenly I was being with a man who might be sick, and he hadn't been sick all his life. So that was something to start getting used to. But anyway, I'd look out and I see all these truck drivers arrive so they can let go of their trailers. The trailers would all be put onto the ship, which I'd see coming in every day, 2 or 3 times a day, and I'd see the other one, the competition, that one coming in 3 or 4 times a day. I was enjoying this new life. I mean, there were dolphins and in the sea beside me, and people to talk to, and there were truck drivers everywhere, women and men, and all this activity I was just so enjoying. Anyway, by Friday we thought, okay, well, we'll better get up to Wellington, so we left on Thursday night, made sure our bus was all fully secured, and off we went to Wellington. We got in early in the morning, and our appointment was something like in the morning anyway, and so we went to stay at a motel opposite because we had a few things to do that day, and so we didn't want to come home straight on the same day as the hospital appointment, and because it would be too much of a rush, so we decided to book in for a night and then come home the next day, and the hospital was right across the road, so there was no problem. Anyway, we got off to the hospital and went through a whole lot of tests, and they said, well, we'll get these done, these tests sorted out, and we'll let you know. So we went back to the motel and we were sitting there quietly, just enjoying each other's company, and the phone rings again, and here's another phone call from the hospital, and this time from a different part of the hospital, but we didn't know that, and they said, could you please come here on Monday? And he said, but I've just been there, I was staying overnight, and what's happened? She said, oh no, this isn't anything to do with what you did today, we need you back on Monday for something else. And so we thought, oh, okay then, but he didn't want to stay the weekend in a motel, because if you know my husband, he doesn't like spending money, even though he has got money, he doesn't like spending it. And so we came home on the ferry, came back to our own little home, spent the weekend, then went back Sunday night so that we could be at the hospital on Monday. So this is all about the beginning of my husband's diagnosis of bowel cancer.